record this session. Yeah. Welcoming you all to this webinar that we have on what are the options after BDS, especially in the non-clinical field. And I'm very happy to welcome all of you. We had close to 9,500 registrations. I'm sure people will slowly start joining in, and many of them also catch up with the sessions on our YouTube channel. So I'm sure many of you are wondering what this SocioDent is all about. Let me just briefly tell you about us, and then we'll go into the session. So we are a startup. We are based in Chennai. We are based in the IITM Research Park here, and we are focused on dental innovations. Our vision is to redefine oral healthcare through innovations. And firstly, we are working on a product for those who cannot brush by themselves, like probably people with disabilities, dependent individuals. So we are working on a product for them, and hopefully in the coming years, we'll be able to get it into the market. That is very in a nutshell about us. That's what we do primarily in our day-to-day basis. Apart from that, we are also hosting monthly webinars. We are hosting monthly webinars on different topics. We had IAS after dentistry. We had about implantology. We had how dentistry can be made more inclusive for people with disabilities and all that. So we have had a few sessions now. If you're interested, you can check out on our social media handles. I put some of them here. YouTube is also there. We're a small channel. We are growing. So you can check out about us there. So that's about us. And I'm very, very happy to welcome Dr. Kumar Anshul for this program, because I'm happy because of many reasons. One of the reasons is I've been following him for a long time on LinkedIn, and I find some of his posts to be very useful and in very good summaries of various things. And that is one reason. And secondly, he agreed for this session in a very short notice. So thank you very much, Dr. Anshul, for that, because I know a lot of things are happening, and taking out time for this is also very difficult. So just to give a brief introduction about what or who Anshul is, for some of you who may not be familiar, he finished his BDS from Manipal, and after that, even during his BDS times, he was always exploring various options. He was trying digital marketing. He was trying to understand what are the scopes. He was not limiting himself inside the box. He was thinking out of the box, and probably that eventually resulted in his MBA from a very elite school of Indian School of Business, as all of you know. And he's had a very good, if you look at his past experiences, yes, he's been part of many good companies. Medtronics is one of them. He's been part of Danaher Corporations, another Fortune 500 company. And he founded his own, this sort of journal sort of thing. You can see it here, International Journal for Student Research. And all of this was his past experience. And currently he's also working on digital marketing with another big corporate. So that's about him. I'm sure I'll leave Anshul to introduce more about himself and what we can gain from this session. We are always looking forward to that. And I know he has only one slide. That is the beauty of this. He has only one slide. More of it's going to be extempo. We can keep it very interactive. And I think now is a good time for some of you also to post your introductions in the chat box if you feel like doing so. And as we go along, you can also talk. Yeah, I'll stop here, Anshul. Over to you. Take over and lead us into this session.
Right. So I'm audible properly this time, right?
Yes, Anshul, you're audible.
Great. So thanks a lot, SocioDent, for inviting me. And yeah, as you said, I agreed on a very short notice, and I did that because, you know, this is my favorite thing to do. Some of you, I can see some of the familiar names here. So people who already follow me on multiple social media platforms, maybe Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, they must be knowing that I'm doing it since last 5 to 6 years. I think 2016 was when I cracked ISP, and 2017 when I joined ISP. So I'm doing it since 2016, trying to help as many people as I can through my sessions. I have done it at dental colleges. I have done it at other startups as well, through my own Instagram. People who follow me, they know that I do a lot of sessions on Instagram. Last time I had a session with Dr. Karan Madhok, who is a fresher dentist from Manipal, my college only, who is a healthcare consultant at one of the boutique healthcare firms. So I like doing it. I have seen students going into acute depression because of lack of opportunities in dentistry, which I find very disturbing, because I don't agree that there are any lack of opportunities. All you need is a certain bit of direction, a bit of nudge, and a bit of information and exposure, and the world is really open. And nothing is there to stop you if if you want to make an alternate career of the BDS. So you have already introduced me. I don't want to waste any time on introducing myself. People can add me on LinkedIn or Instagram, and they can see what are the activities I have been involved in, what are the companies I have worked, and everything that I have done. So makes no sense to again reintroduce myself and just talk about myself. So I'll just start this session. I'll just share my slide. I have also announced on my Instagram that there's just one slide. So again, those who are listening, I'll be sharing a lot of information, even though there is just only one slide. So please take notes. If you don't want to go through the recording again, it's better that you start taking notes at this point of time. Just give me a minute while I share my screen. Yeah. Yeah. So I hope the screen is visible.
Yes, Anshul, we can see this.
Great. So guys, this session is about alternative careers after BDS. Alternative as in anything which is not related to clinical dentistry, or maybe non-clinical dentistry also, like the research pathways, or maybe some people do some stuff in oral pathology and all, which are considered non-clinical. Well, like anything which is not only corely related to dentistry. What are the career avenues you have, and how you can pursue them? What exactly do you need in terms of skills and education to go in those directions? But before even we go through that, the most important thing we need to do right now is to change your mindset. This is the major problem in dental students. As I said, I have done this session among more than, I would say, 5,000 to 6,000 dental students if I add all of my audiences so far, both online and offline. And this is the major issue I've seen, that people just have a very narrow-minded thinking, a very secluded mindset, I would say. They are very conservative mindset. Just a second before I proceed, I wanted to do one thing. How can I open my chat box?
You must be seeing.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Yeah. So guys, you will be having a lot of questions throughout this session, and I only take questions at the end. So I will not be stopping to take your questions, and it might happen that I might not be able to take all your questions. So I am just pasting a link of LinkedIn and Instagram. You go there and post whatever questions you have in the comment section. If you're on LinkedIn, post on LinkedIn. I know dentists generally are not on LinkedIn most of the time, so I'm posting Instagram link also. It's just for you to post your queries so that I can read here and answer it without actually giving you time to question it online, ask the queries online, because it just ends up wasting a lot of time. I can just immediately read the comments and I can immediately answer it. That's pretty much. Let's go back to our presentation. Yeah. So yeah. So as I said, the first thing you need to do, if you are even thinking, mildly thinking about having an alternate career, after this mindset, I have put some comments, and I am just reading through the slide right now, and I will explain what do I exactly mean and why have I put these comments. These are not comments. These are, you can say, these are my personal opinion, but it will make a lot of sense when I read them to you. First thing I mentioned is that being a BDS graduate just doesn't mean that you're supposed to treat patients throughout your life. There is no such rule. There is no such rule which tell you which tells you ki, okay, now you have done BDS, it means you will only treat patients. Nowhere it is written. Your legal license, you are licensed to practice dentistry if you want. Of course, most people end up doing the same, and there's nothing wrong in it. But even if you want to do something different, there is nothing which is stopping you. You might think, okay, I'm not educated in something else. I can't work in corporate where most of the engineers go and work because they actually studied that. It is they learn on the job. Even if they have not done MBA, they end up learning the business concepts in the job, or they take online courses and then they jump to corporate. You can also do the same. Of course, traditionally it is common for engineers to join corporate. It is not common for doctors to join corporate, but you can do that if you want to. It's just not a tradition. But there's nothing stopping you. There are so many examples. So many examples. People who follow me on Instagram, they know. There are so many examples I keep giving of people, of dentists like you and me, dentists who have studied in this country, who are doing something completely different and very, very happy with their life. So first, change that mindset that BDS means, okay, my life is set now, I can't do anything else. Which, and then the same thing connects to my second comment that I have mentioned in this slide. Enrolling for the BDS course doesn't mean your future career is decided. How old were you and me when we joined BDS? 18 or 19? Maybe some people were 20, they might be trying for MBBS or things like that. Not more than that. No one is expecting you to kind of have a very nice clarity of mind that what do they want when they were 18, 19 or 20 years old. 20 years old. People just wanted to become doctor. They didn't get MBBS. They ended up doing BDS. Fine. It is okay. Even if it's a damage, even if you realize that it's kind of a damage that you did to yourself, this damage can be undone. It is a reversible damage. Again, please don't take it in the other way. I'm not saying pursuing BDS is something damaging. I am myself a BDS. I am not trying to demean this profession. This is a very noble profession, but it's okay. It's not meant for everyone. It was not meant for me, and I decided pretty early. I realized pretty early it's not meant for me in second year itself. But I knew that I can change it in the future. It's okay even if I joined. When I joined, I didn't have enough information. What are the avenues? I didn't know where I am strong. What are my strong points? What are my strengths? I didn't know that. I learned about. I am from a very small town in the poorest state in the country, that is Jharkhand. Jharkhand is literally, the Jharkhand GDP is the lowest in the country. You can imagine what kind of exposure I must be having there. I literally didn't know anything. People from Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, they still know a lot of things. I didn't know anything. But I studied in a place called Manipal, and I am always very thankful for that. For my parents who are really not able to afford the Manipal fees, they still sent me somehow. Manipal kind of gave me everything that I have today. At least it initiated. I initiated everything because of the exposure that I got in Manipal. So I am like, I didn't curse myself. Oh, why did I take this dental route? I am not liking it. It's not for me. I will never be successful as a clinical dentist. I told myself, okay, I did with the information I had when I was 18. Okay. So you have 40 years of career after you turn 20. Generally, people work till 60 years of age, right? And then they end up retiring or something like that. Am I audible? Hello? Can someone just tell me if I'm audible or not?
Yes, you're
Yes,
audible.
Anshul, you are.
Perfect. So yeah, so after you turn 20, you have 40 years of career still left. And your priorities, your inclination, your liking will change slowly. And it's completely okay if you have taken BDS and you think, okay, it's not for me. You can do a lot without dropping out, which I have written in the third comment. People ask me, okay, sir, okay, I realized all of a sudden that I don't like BDS. I don't know what to do. Should I drop out? And if I drop out, my parents will be very upset. And see if you can defend me that clinical dentistry is not meant for me. But I knew I couldn't drop out. My parents would have been devastated, and it was not possible for me to explain them why am I dropping out. So I continued the course while I kept doing something else in parallel. Again, this is a long story. What was I doing? How did I do? I can conduct another session on my Instagram for that if you guys really want. But again, what I'm saying, you can do a lot without dropping out. All you need to do is to just ensure that you are at least passing your exams, not flunking those exams, and not doing any dance and random things that people do in dental colleges, participating in fest, doing random parties. Save that time and do something better in that time while you are pursuing BDS. Once your BDS is over, I'm sure there are many fresher dentists here whose BDS is already over. Please realize you're not just a dentist. You are a qualified healthcare professional. You have a domain expertise in healthcare. Please leverage that. What do I mean by this? I will explain it later. This might sound a bit complicated to you. Maybe like you might not understand what point I'm trying to put with this particular statement, but it will make sense. Now, last and the most important part. If you're pursuing MDS because of family pressure, please, please, please don't. It is sheer stupidity. Pressurize a 18 or 19 years old. Once you turn 24 or 25, if you're still getting pressurized by your family, I have no words. I mean, please leave that kind of family if you are in that family, please. Your family should not decide your post-graduation. They must not decide your post-graduation. If you think doing MDS, putting three more years of your life in this field where you have zero interest, and you're still doing it because of peer pressure or family pressure, please leave that peer group, leave that friend group. I'm saying just stop listening to them. In maybe next weekend when I'm free, I'm planning to have a Instagram live session with a senior of mine who did her BDS, of course, and then MDS as well. And then she did her MPH. And then I asked her, why did you do MPH? Why did you do MDS if you had to do, MPH at the end? She's like, everyone was doing, and I got a rank, so I did it. Though I have zero interest. She never practiced. She's very happy with her MDS degree and with the job that she got after MDS. She's very happy. But she literally wasted 3 to 4 years of her life in doing MDS and lakhs of money because she did MDS also from Manipal. So you can imagine the kind of money she must have already wasted. So please don't do all this. If you are on the brink of deciding should I do an MDS or not, and if you really it's not making sense to you, you don't even want to continue practicing dentistry, if you think you are better in something else, please drop this idea of MDS. This is suicidal idea of doing MDS if you're not meant to do clinical dentistry in the future. Please. Okay, that's pretty much from my side in terms of change in mindset. I hope out of 14 to 15 people who are attending, even if I'm able to change the mindset of one person, I think my 1 hour will be useful, and it will be like I am putting this 1 hour to good use. Now let's move ahead. So pathways. What exactly are the pathways? I mean, what exactly are the alternate pathways? Okay. After BDS. So first I have mentioned is MBA for obvious reasons because I am an MBA. Again, it's not necessary to pursue an MBA to have a very, very good career. You can pursue some other courses like MPH or MHA also. Divyesh has joined this call. I can see Divyesh Mundra. I think if I'm not wrong, Divyesh is either an MPH or an MHA, but he's having an amazing career. Divyesh, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Hey, thanks, Anshul. Yeah, so I have pursued actually this MHA, which was more inclined towards the
Sorry, I forgot that.
public health system of India. So,
but guys, if whoever is on Twitter, just go to Twitter and see Divyesh profile. Like you will not see that he's a dentist. You'll not feel he's a dentist. You'll feel he's a very hardcore expert in healthcare policy, healthcare economics, recent trends in Indian healthcare. He has become a complete master of that, and I'm pretty sure his active involvement and consistent presence on Twitter through all his tweets has helped him in bagging his most recent job, which is Devesh, again, correct me if I'm wrong. You work in Novartis right now, right?
I was in Novartis. Right now I'm at Bharat
Okay.
Serums.
So he's literally working
Correct.
for the company which saved millions and millions of lives in India. And he is an MHA. So see, I am talking about MBA to begin with because I am an MBA, but there are multiple other things that you can do. Now, let's go back. Let's not digress. Let's talk about MBA. Who can do an MBA? Anyone can do. The eligibility requirement for MBA is a graduate in any discipline, which means the moment you are a BDS, you can do an MBA. The top colleges to do MBA in India are IIMs and ISP. All the top IIMs, ISP, where I studied, and some other colleges which are also very good, like Excelrite and MDI Gurgaon. These colleges I consider as tier 1 colleges. Not all IIMs. IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta. Maybe you can consider IIM Kozhikode also. And then ISP, MDI Gurgaon, Excelrite Jamshedpur, and SP Jain Mumbai. These are top MBA college. For all the colleges, to clear all the colleges, you have to take CAT exam, except ISP. ISP will take GMAT or GRE, which is an international exams. Similarly, Excelrite will take its own exam called XAT, XAT. Rest all of the colleges you can go to through CAT, which is a common admission test taken by one of the IIMs. The syllabus of CAT is a bit on difficult side because it is more quantitative oriented, while GMAT and GRE, which are the international exams, they are very, very easy in maths, but they are kind of difficult in English. There are multiple ways you can prepare for these exams. You will find many Facebook groups where people are preparing together. You can take some classes. Which classes to take, for which exam, you please ping me on Instagram, on LinkedIn. I will reply to that. Right now, this is, I mean, we have a paucity of time, so I can't really go into detail. Now, let's come to the important point. For all any MBA you want to do, you can do immediately after BDS. As a fresher, you don't need to have work experience except ISP. For ISP, you need to work for at least 20 months. If you don't have work experience for 20 months, you can't join ISP. Also, all these MBAs are 2 years MBA. ISP is a 1-year MBA. And if you'll see the global ranking, ISP is the best in the country. It is currently ranked 24th or 29th in the world. It is immediately followed by IIM Ahmedabad or IIM Bangalore. I'm not sure, but IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, and Calcutta are very near to ISP in terms of global ranking. Sometimes IIM Ahmedabad also ranks better than ISP in some year, but generally the trend is that ISB and IIM are the best colleges in this country to do MBA. Okay, but I will strictly advise against doing an MBA immediately after BDS. You have to take up a job. The moment you take a job, you work for 1 to 2 years and then do an MBA, your post-MBA avenues just become brighter and brighter. You will immediately get amazing jobs after, MBA if you already have a work experience. Now, which brings us to the most important and most discussed question: who will give us a job? Because if you're planning to do an MBA, you should not do a clinical job. You can if you want to, but you should not. Technically, you should not. You should do a job which is kind of relatable to your post-MBA career. You should do a job either in a corporate or in a startup. Now, who will give you a corporate job? Because you are a dentist. So good news, there are a lot of companies which are giving jobs to dentists. I talked with Dr. Karan Madhok on my Instagram. That chat will still be, that entire video recording will still be saved on my Instagram account. You can go and have a look. He is working for a boutique healthcare consulting firm as a healthcare management consultant immediately after his BDS. He just prepared for some interview. He just did some basic reading on pharma and he got the job. You can work in dental companies in sales and marketing because you are a dentist, so you know the product. Lately, I have seen many pharma companies giving the regional medical affairs job to dentists. You should know the basics of pharma and you should have good communication skills, and then you can apply to these pharma companies. So these are 3 options that I can tell you immediately. Fourth, I have seen many people pursuing pharmacovigilance. They just do some course in pharmacovigilance and then they end up applying to pharma companies again for pharmacovigilance jobs. Some people don't even do any course. They just read about basic guidelines of pharma and basic knowledge that they need to acquire for pharmacovigilance jobs, and they end up getting a job. Then the startup jobs. Startups are like healthcare startups, which need people with some healthcare expertise. Few days ago, one of my Instagram followers, she messaged me, "Sir, I have got a job in STEM Plus." Stan Plus is a Series A funded startup doing very good. I mean, they're doing very good business. And she started as an intern and she converted into a full-time offer. And she did that within 3 to 4 months after joining BDS. Finishing BDS. She said, I finished my, and she's from MCOTS only. I mean, from my college, very junior, of course. She finished in 2020, and she told me, sir, I saw one of your sessions. I was working in a clinic after finishing BDS. The pay was horrible, and I just happened to apply to this role, and that's it. Now I'm working. I plan to work for 1 or maybe 2 years, and then I will do an MBA. And trust me, her career is already set. I can see that. Likewise, there was this another guy who was in Bangalore, and I mean, he is in Bangalore. He also attended one of the similar sessions, and there was a small placement cell, non-functioning placement cell in his college. He is from RV Dental College. He went there and he talked to a few people, and Aster Hospital decided to give him a pro bono, that is without payroll, because he was still interning. So he went there, he started doing some admin work, and they will offer him a small internship after he finishes his BDS, that he can actually work full-time as an intern. And then if he does well, they will convert into a full-time offer. So you can work at hospitals, you can work at healthcare startups, you can work for pharma companies, you can work for dental companies. All you need to do is to just convince them that you will do a good job and not expect a lot of money in the beginning. You have to incorporate in startup, you have to prove yourself in front of them that you are a good resource. You are actually an important resource for them before they end up giving you any money. I mean, before they end up giving you good salary. They will not make you work for free, don't worry. All these things happen in dentistry, where all these top-notch dentists ask you to work in their clinic for free. These things generally don't happen in corporate startups. Entrepreneurship, I am not the right person to talk about entrepreneurship, even though I had a private limited registered while I was in my college, because socio-dent is here. Dr. Stewart can just tell you a lot about entrepreneurship. So I don't want to touch on this topic, but yes, entrepreneurship is something which is a very generic thing. Anyone can start a company if you know what problem you want to solve, and if the need to solve that problem exists in the market or not. Again, this is another great, if I start talking about entrepreneurship, we will go in completely different direction and we will never be able to come back to the main topic. Because right now, I just want to touch upon all the topic and then answer all the queries that I'm assuming you are posting on the link that I just posted, so that I can answer all those queries. Public health. Most of the dentists who are not willing to pursue dentistry, they end up pursuing MPH, Masters in Public Health. The best colleges to do Masters in Public Health are TISS, which has a separate exam of its own, and IAHMR Jaipur, and PHFI Chandigarh as well, Public Health Foundation Institute or something like that. These three are really good colleges to pursue MPH. Manipal MPH is also okay. It's a bit expensive, but it is doing well. But before you pursue, again, don't do the mistake that you did while pursuing BDS. Be very sure if you want to do a public health job or not. One of my closest friends, he pursued MDS. He pursued MPH immediately after, not immediately. He worked in some small healthcare startup for 1 year, and then he pursued MPH, and he is associate director at APAC level for malaria control program today. He's just my age, my parallel age, and he's moving to Singapore very soon. And I know people who pursued MPH and they are doing 30,000 per month job. They're still doing the same job because they didn't have the knack for public health. So if you think you do complete research on public health, what kind of different job option you will have after MPH, and then jump into this field, you'll easily get a seat for MPH in any top colleges, but do proper research. Are you okay to do field work? Because in the beginning, you have to do a bit of field work. Are you inclined towards research? Because most of the public health work is research oriented. Even though you will not be involved in full-time research, but there will be a component of research always. Lots of research and lot of documentation. But it's a very, very promising field if you do it well. And the last part is upskilling. So upskilling is not a job. Upskilling is a skill. Upskilling itself is a skill that you need to develop, which generally no one teaches us in the dental college. You should know the basics of Microsoft Excel, Microsoft PowerPoint, And if you can learn a coding language that is Python or R, then there's nothing like it. Of course, learning a coding language will be difficult for you, but Excel and PowerPoint you should definitely learn. You should know how to write a proper article. If you're good in writing, you can easily get a medical content writer freelancing jobs and make a lot of extra money by writing for startups in US and Europe. So be very, very good in verbal communication, know how to talk, try to learn how to become a public speaker, and know how to write good scientific and non-scientific articles, because these are soft skills which will help you in any career you will choose. And try to learn a bit of social media, how to make a personal brand of yourself on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Instagram you might skip, but Twitter, but LinkedIn, definitely you should know how to make a strong personal brand for yourself. And definitely if you have time, then try to make a personal brand for yourself on Twitter. Also, there are a lot of courses to teach you how to make a personal brand for yourself on LinkedIn and Twitter, and try to leverage that. I have made a good personal brand for myself on LinkedIn, and Dr. Divyesh, who is present, has made a very strong personal brand for himself through Twitter. These two are amazing platforms to just help your career shoot up. Okay, there's some question. Yeah. So that is pretty much from my side. Now I will take like 30 seconds just to check if there are any comments. No, there are no queries so far, at least on Instagram. No queries on LinkedIn also. Okay, fine. Now I think we have time. This is how I had planned this session initially. I had planned that I will just speak for 30 minutes, and rest of the 30 minutes I will just listen to all of you, and I'll try to answer all of your queries. So we have time. You guys can unmute and you can ask any question that you want. Don't try to be very specific. Don't try to ask something which is very, very specific to your profile. Try to ask a question which will benefit this entire group.
Hello, Anshul.
Yeah. Thank you,
Hi.
Anshul. I'll just briefly interrupt here. It was very insightful, very useful. So we have a few questions in the chat box. I would request each of them to unmute. Probably first Harshita can go.
Okay.
Harshita, you want to unmute and ask a question?
Yeah, thank you so much. So I wanted to ask, does an online certification in health management, does it help, like a 1-year course certification?
So Harshita, any recruiter will not kind of give any any importance to an online certification, because anyone can go and get an online certification, right? But if you're doing it from learning perspective, if you want to really learn that particular skill, then of course it will be very, very useful. I am currently, as we talk, I am pursuing 2 online certifications in parallel. One in digital marketing and one in venture capital and analysis.
Yeah, right now I am pursuing an online certification from Upgrad.
So that the content will be really good in Upgrad, but I'm not really sure how much it will help you as a strong resume point. Of course, the knowledge that you will gain, you can do a lot of with that knowledge. You can post all the knowledge on your LinkedIn or your Twitter and make a strong personal brand for yourself, or you can use that knowledge to prepare for the interview that you'll to the jobs that you'll be applying to. But if you're thinking just by looking at this certification, the recruiter will think, oh, she has done this certification, it means she is very much eligible for this job. No, that will not happen. The mindset of the recruiter, of the hiring manager, will not change.
Okay, can you give me one more idea? I have done a 3-year job in medical insurance as a medical officer. Just after my BDS, I used to work as a dentist, and then I stopped doing that, and I did this. I'm from your college itself, I'm called Mangalore.
Okay.
So I just wanted to know, is there any opportunities in that field? I don't really know much about.
You worked there for 3 years, and
I know I worked there for 3 years.
You're asking me about the opportunities. You work anywhere for 3 years, you should know everything about that field.
I'm sorry, I did not put my question forth clearly.
Okay.
I wanted to ask my experience in the company I was working for as a medical officer and my healthcare course. will that
Definitely,
benefit me
definitely.
together?
See, because now, Harshita, you have a very strong industry experience. You were not working as a clinical dentist, right? You were working as a corporate executive.
Medical officer in Ayushman Bharat,
Right,
the government scheme.
exactly. That's a very strong experience. One MBA.
Okay, I'm actually preparing for it.
You're preparing for it. Great, great.
Yeah.
Now it's a very good time for you to prepare for Tier 1 MBA. This experience that you have in Ayushman Bharat and the certification as well, of course. All these things will, when combined with a Tier 1 MBA, it will just shoot your career like anything. Immediate shot up in your career. Trust me.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
That was really
Guys,
helpful.
one more thing. I will reply to all of the questions that you are putting on the chat box. But if I miss, I will not be able to see those questions again. Even if SocioDent will send me, that will still not be stored somewhere. So please try to post it on my Instagram or LinkedIn. If you're very shy on posting on LinkedIn, just post on Instagram, the link there where I sent you, so that I can later reply to it. Because it's not really possible to answer all of your questions right now. But yeah, till 8 p.m. I'll try to answer all the questions. Okay.
Anshul,
Stuart, what is the other question on the chat box?
Yeah, I can ask Kimaya to actually unmute and ask the question.
Yeah.
But one thing I
Yeah.
would say is it will be helpful if you can very briefly introduce yourself in one line. Introduce where you are from and what is your background. That will give some context for the answer.
Right.
Kimaya, you want to go ahead with the question?
Hello.
Yes, you're
Hi,
audible.
Kimaya.
Hi, Anshul. And I'm working as a medical scribe.
Great.
And I actually want to know, I don't know basic idea about data analytics and data science, but I've heard that it has a lot of scope in healthcare. So I want to know more about it from Dr.
Yeah, so
Anshul.
Kimaya, the data has scope not only in healthcare, it has scope everywhere. But before you get into data, do you enjoy working on Excel?
Yes.
Do you enjoy generally dealing with numbers, a lot of numbers, and you're crunching all those numbers, trying to calculate something, try to get insights from it? If you enjoy, then only go ahead with data. Otherwise, that's not a good idea.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And
first step, it should come naturally to you. Dealing with numbers, probability, statistics, you should like these things naturally. Okay. If you think you are able to do that, then the next step is to learn a programming language, because data analysis is done through computer programs. Okay. Before you go there, first you learn Excel properly. There is an advanced Excel course on udemy.com. It will just cost you 700 rupees. You do that entire course, you will easily be able to learn. Okay. That is second step. You don't need any programming language for that. Okay.
Okay.
Are you there? Are you there?
Yeah.
Third. What is that BI? What is the full form of BI? Business intelligence. Stuart, can you tell me what is the full form of BI?
I'm not sure. I'm sure.
The famous course for dashboard, the famous software for that. Actually, you're also not sure. 1 minute. Just I will search. Yeah, the software name is Power BI. Power BI. This is again a very, very strong tool to get good in data analysis and representation of that analysis. So after you learn Excel, you try to learn Power BI. Okay. All online courses are available for dead cheap prices. Trust me, it is cheaper. The courses are cheaper than a ticket for PVR. Okay. This is the third step. Fourth, you learn Tableau. TABLEAU. Vincent, can you please mute yourself? Vincent, please mute yourself. Otherwise, we all need to throw you out.
Yeah, I muted him. Anshul. Yeah.
Thank you. Third, learn Tableau. Okay. For these three things, Excel, Power BI, and Tableau, you don't need any programming language, but you will still become a strong data analyst. After that, you start learning a programming language. Ideally, you should learn Python. If you're not able to learn Python, learn R. Okay. R, anyone can learn. It's very easy. Python will be difficult, But trust me, Kimaya, if you learn Python, there is nothing like it. I mean, I started learning Python. I learned for 1 year, then I had to leave it because I had some other priorities in my life.
Okay.
But trust me, if you're able to learn Python, it will be very difficult in the beginning. But I know I know dentists who have learned Python. I know a dentist who learned Python now is a software engineer at Facebook. I personally know her. So
Great.
trust
That's
me, your
great.
entire life will change. And you are very young right now. I'm
Okay.
assuming you just cleared BDS, right? Maybe 2 to 3 years ago.
2 years
exactly.
ago. Yeah.
You are young. You might as well end up learning it properly. You never know. But before you jump or go to reach level, be very, very strong in Excel, Power BI, Tableau. Put these 3 things in your resume and you'll automatically start getting analysis job offers.
Like you said, you need to have a knack of MHA before going into MHA. So how do I say that about MBA? Like, how do I know MBA is for me? Because right
MBA,
now, if you
it should
see,
come automatically. Do you think you're good in marketing? Do you think you will enjoy something like marketing? Do you think you'll enjoy finance, where lots of portfolio, debit, credit, and all those things happen? Do you think if you'll end up liking more than that, would you enjoy working in a corporate setup? If these things are good for you, then MBA. See, I knew I am good in marketing since I was in my second year. So I really can't explain how to discover that knack, but if it's there, you will discover it on your own. You just have to pay close attention to your own likings and inclination. Okay. Second, this is for everyone. Guys, please listen to this very carefully. This is again a mindset related comment that I'm going to make. Please, if you're thinking in all these things and all the alternate career path, if you're thinking a private practitioner after maybe 10 years of practice or 12 years of practice will end up earning more than any of these alternate career paths. But what he or she can't do, he or she is completely immobile. The moment you set up a clinic, that's it. You are stuck to that clinic throughout your life. You can't have a clinic in Delhi for 10 years and then think, yo, I'm bored. Let's go to some other city and start a clinic. Not possible. You'll not be able, you have to start from scratch. This is the freedom you get in corporate job. As a dentist in India, you have to work for 7 days a week. You can take some time off on Sunday, but you have to work every day. And the moment you start a clinic, that's it. Your entire life becomes predictable. In any of these alternate career paths, you will have a lot of mobility. Last 2 years, I was at home. I was working for home for Medtronic, which is the world's largest medical device company. Right now, I'm at Gurgaon. Before I shifted to home because of pandemic, I was in Bangalore. I traveled to 18 cities during my first job at Bangalore after my MBA. I was able to go to US also 2 times. And this year, at the end of this year, I will go to Europe from my company. So these are the kind of perks. This is the kind of life I have right now, which you will have if you are in corporate. But if you're strictly thinking about money, you will get a lot of money. Very, very comfortable life you'll have even in corporate. But still a clinical dentist might end up making more money than that. Might or might not. There's no surety. In corporate, if you're doing good, you will make a lot of money. But clinical dentists might or might not end up making money. But those who will make money will make more money than you, but they will not have any unpredictability in life. Some people like being unpredictable. For example, my personality is not like that. I mean, I can't sit at one place throughout my life. I like to move around. I like to change jobs. I like to do something very different. Every week in my current job, there is something new I get to learn. This is the kind of life I wanted, and I am very happy about it. And I'm nicely compensated for that, which means I'm earning well. I can't imagine sitting at a clinic throughout my life and not move from that city, never shift to a new city, never see, new things, and not having something new to do every 2 to 3 years. This life I can't imagine for myself. So Kimaya, again, you said, how will you know if you have the knack for it or not? Whenever you're thinking about an alternate career path, just imagine in your head what kind of life you want for yourself.
Hello.
Does it make sense?
Yes, yes, it does. It does. Thank you so much, Dr. Anshul.
No problem. No problem.
Yeah, thank you, Kimaya. So we have RG. I'm not sure if he's around, but his question is, are there any examples of dentists? Aji, are you around? Can you unmute and ask your question and introduce yourself? Actually, I don't see him. That's the problem. He asked, are there any examples of dentists who pivoted to other fields than the ones you have covered here?
There are so many examples I can't even tell you. 2-3 examples I told you during the session only. A dentist working on Facebook. There's a dentist who my closest friend from dentistry, Dr. Harsh Rajwanshi, who is the APAC head of malaria elimination program, moving to Singapore very soon. There are so many examples, guys. I don't know in which world you are living in. I didn't know these examples when I was pursuing BDS because internet was not very common at that. Common, I mean, it was. I'm not that old, but it was not. Right now, you guys literally have access to internet all the time. You can just go on LinkedIn and see people who are doing other things. In my batch at ISP, my batch had 5 dentists. Imagine, one of them is a consultant in Deloitte, and another of them is works for a dental startup in Canada because she moved to Canada after her marriage. The other one is working for a healthcare consulting firm called IQVIA. He is working for the digital health mission, that is digital health mission under Ayushman Bharat. So he is acting as an external consultant to Government of India. And there was this another dentist, I forgot what is she doing. There was one dentist in my junior batch at ISB. She is working for a very, very amazing healthcare incubator based out of US. People are doing amazing things. You may not know about it because you never tried to search for them, but if you go on LinkedIn, you will find so many people. Just go, if you don't have an account on LinkedIn, make an account on LinkedIn, know how to use it. You will learn in 10 minutes, if not more, if not less. And then you will be able to find so many BDS people who are doing so many things. People who follow me on Instagram, they will know because I keep talking to such people through Instagram live on my channel. And I did a few weeks ago with Dr. Karan Madhok, who is a healthcare consultant. He was 4 years junior to me at MCOTS, Manipal. And I'll be doing a session very soon with another of my friend who did MPH after MDS, and she is now working as, I think she's working again as a healthcare management consultant. So yeah, there are many such examples.
Yeah, thank you, Anshul. Sajine, Dr. Sajine, do you want to unmute and ask your question? Can you introduce and ask your question? Sajine, are you around? Her question is, which is better, doing a PG in India or abroad? The PG is very generic, so I'm not sure. So she asked, which is better, doing a PG in India or abroad? Probably it's about non-clinical PG options abroad.
Yeah, if you're talking about clinical, please, I'm a very wrong person to ask those things. I have absolutely no clue about any clinical stuff. I left dentistry in my mind when I was in my second year BDS only. I was just staying there to finish it. So I have absolutely no clue. But if you're talking about post-graduation in these fields like MBA in India or abroad, MHA in India or abroad, or MPH in India or abroad, as simple as that. If you want to work abroad, do these courses from that country. First, decide which country you want to move to. Not all the countries are very accepting to immigrants. There are some countries which are very accepting, like Canada and Australia, and maybe some European companies for European countries like Nordic countries for MPH, and Ireland as well. If you want to work in these countries, go and study there, and then then you can start working there itself. But if you want to remain in India, please don't go and study outside. Makes no sense. It will just waste your money. India has good enough colleges to have a very strong career in India.
Thank you, Anshul. Simran, are you around? Do you want to ask your question?
Simran, I can see Simran say funny.
Hello.
Yeah, please introduce and ask your question.
Hello, Dr. Anshul. I'm Simran.
Simran, I can't hear you. Can you speak loudly?
Hello.
Yeah.
I'm Simran. I have completed my BDS in 2021, last year only. So I work now as an associate dentist, but I want to know like how a personal brand will, like my personal brand, suppose if I'm a dentist, then how it will help in a corporate or a startup, like because I don't know anything other than dentistry, right? I don't know anything right, like marketing or something like sales.
Simran, let me stop you.
So
Why do you think you don't know? Have you ever tried to read?
okay, no, like yet I have
Yeah,
not done,
exactly. So
but
you don't know.
like
You don't know anything because you never
yeah,
tried.
yeah, right,
You
that's
start
right.
first to decide where is your exact, where does your interest lie.
Okay,
At the end, after you explore yourself, and if you think, no, my interest lies in dentistry only, nothing else,
right,
it's still fine. You start posting stuff about dentistry. So many young dentists have very strong Instagram pages now. I'm sure you have noticed, right?
okay,
They're
yeah,
posting a lot of dental stuff there. I know a dentist who is my senior, my immediate senior from Manipal. She is having a clinic in Delhi. She says most of my patients come from Instagram because I made a very strong brand for myself. She learned digital marketing on her own. She called me one day, I think in 2018 or 19. She asked me, "I should tell me some thing about digital marketing and some courses." I said, "But you have a clinic. Why do you want to learn?" He's like, "I want to become a marketer of my own clinic. Now I want to market my own clinic." She's doing very well in marketing her
yeah,
own
right,
clinic, and she says many patients come from Instagram. Another senior of mine, he was
okay,
2 years senior of mine, and he also has a clinic in Delhi. Not Delhi, somewhere NCR, I think Ghaziabad or somewhere. He says most of his patients come from Facebook,
okay,
and he has learned Facebook marketing. He
okay,
knows how to run a Facebook ad, and through all those advertisements, he is able to get patients.
okay, right,
Learning basics of marketing will help you even in dentistry, but with
okay,
this attitude, it will not. He's like, I don't know about this, I don't know about it. You don't know because you never tried. Who is
right,
stopping you from learning?
right,
No one is stopping you, right? See, this is why, again, let's go back to the mindset slide. This is why I presented this slide. All you need to do is just to change your mindset a bit.
right,
BDS doesn't mean knowing only about teeth.
right.
BDS is just a graduation course. Engineers, have you ever seen any engineer telling you, okay, I studied mechanical
No,
engineering,
engineers
so
like do anything. They go
exactly
in
why
data science.
who
They go
who stopped you? A civil engineer studies data science and get an analyst
right,
job. Have you seen?
yeah,
Yeah,
right,
who is
yeah,
that? No one stopped you,
right,
right? All it needs is a bit of change in mindset,
yeah. That's true,
right?
absolutely.
And 2021 graduate, you have entire life in front of you. Pick up any skill that you think you will be able to master and do very good. Learn that skill, and then do anything you want to it. At the end, even if you want to remain in dentistry, by learning marketing, by becoming a marketeer, you will be able to market your own clinic in future,
Yeah, that's
right?
also right. Yeah.
Okay, anyone else?
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
No problem,
thank you,
no problem.
Priyansh. Thank you, Simran. So now we have final question here. Ujwal, are you around? Ujwal Maladi, can you introduce and ask a question?
Yeah, yeah. Hello, sir. I'm currently an intern in
Oh,
MCOT's
hi Ujjwal.
Manipal, and I've
Hi.
been yes, and I've been following you since a couple of
Okay.
years now, even on LinkedIn, and I went through your blog as well.
Okay.
And so, like as you said, the only way you can figure out if management is really for you is actually by getting your hands dirty and maybe getting into it. So my question to you is like, how do I approach to land full-time roles after I finish internship next February?
Ujjwal, there is a big blog I have written on this. Did you read it?
Oh, I don't know, sir. Like I went through it, like where you
No,
talked
no, no,
about your
no, 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 no,
experiences, but
no,
I'll
no,
still go
no.
back and
I
read.
have written a blog on how to find a corporate job without doing an MBA.
Okay, okay,
This
okay.
is, I wrote it last year. Please
I'll
go and read it. If you still have
okay,
questions, you are following me on social media as you told me, please drop a message. I'll be glad to reply to that. Okay?
okay, okay,
Okay.
fine. And if I'm potentially looking at an analyst role next year,
Everything that I just told came in your mind. Maya?
Yeah, like I'm getting my hands dirty by trying to learn Tableau and all I can do.
No. If you can become a master in Excel, Power BI, Tableau, and SQL also. Some people even prefer SQL. You're good to go. Guys, it's 8, so I will not be able to, continue the session. And my social media links are I have already posted. You guys can post the comments there, and I will reply to all those comments later in the night, or maybe tomorrow, or maybe on Sunday. Okay. Any comments from any of you? I hope it was useful.
Yeah, I'm sure it was very useful, Anshul. I was I was very keenly listening, and it was very beneficial for me as well. And it's very important. Some of the takeaways that you told, like the BDS thing, we decided without we actually having that autonomous power. But for this thing, I think it's very important that people explore a lot. They do a lot of upskilling. They do a lot of courses, whichever is available online, and then they decide actually. So that is the takeaway I see, the biggest takeaway from today's session. It was very useful. Of course, people will now follow you on LinkedIn, and they may have more questions there, and also on Instagram and other pages. So I'm sure you can read his blog also. He has his website. I think someone just posted the link, kumaranshul.com also. It's there. So you can just read some of the blogs there and try to understand. And probably you can look up my LinkedIn page also if you're interested. I also have a very different trajectory. I worked in clinic, then I did a fellowship called Youth for India. The applications are open now. It's called SBA Youth for India. Probably you should check it out. It closes in May 1st week. So it's by SBA Foundation. They have a 13-month program where they'll post you in very rural parts of India, and you will get to understand. If you're interested in public health, that is a good fellowship to do. So there are so many options, so many options. We recently had a webinar with an
guys, there are just so many options. Trust me, all you need to know is to figure out where do you want to go, and then put your heart and soul into it, and you'll get through. Trust me, nothing is very difficult these days. But yeah, you have to work hard. I mean, when I said nothing is very difficult, the catch is that you have to be very, very devoted in pursuing that field. If you are devoted, you will get through, because that's where you will beat almost all of the competition. Not everyone is very devoted. Very few people are.
Thank you, Anshul. I think this is one of the webinar where we have started on time. We have finished on time, and we also had a good participation.
No, see, if I want to go on, I can go on for 2 more hours. But I want to, stick to the point, not give any random motivational gyan, which random people just say, which most of the things don't even make sense. Most of the things which people say are not relatable to a fresher dentist or maybe a dental student. So I just wanted to, as I had mentioned in my Instagram also, I'll only tell you actionable things. I'll tell you things which you can actually go and do.
Yeah, and that was really the essence of this session. You told a lot of actionable items.
Anything else, I am always available. Exactly. For anything, before you ask any question, please do a bit of research on that topic before you ask me. Don't try to ask something which you can easily Google and find out. Just do a little bit of research, frame your question properly, and write a message to me on Instagram or LinkedIn. I will definitely be, able to reply to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Anshul. Have a good weekend.
I am officially stopping the recording here. But if people want to hang around, have some questions, I'm